welcome back to a new video. I'm with Aiden. It is May 29th. We're gonna go do some night cruising tonight. If I had to guess, this video will probably be several different days and nights combined. But I'll show you what we end up finding tonight. Alright, we're going down this road right here. And first live herp of the evening is this little desert horned lizard that was just chilling on the road. So pretty standard looking one, nothing like too crazy about it, but you saw some like kind of nice orange tangerine color to him. But cool that this guy's just still basking on the road, taking in the heat of that black asphalt, and hopefully we start seeing some other snakes soon. Okay, not too much further down the road, we just cruised up on the Sidewinder, and I am super surprised to see one in this area. Normally you find them at like the lower elevations, more sandy areas and stuff, and this guy is nowhere near where I would expect to see him. So it kind of confused us. We thought it was maybe a loot or something, but definitely with the shape of it in the road, it definitely is kind of hard to miss when it is a Sidewinder like this. But pretty big size. They get a little bit bigger, but definitely an adult here. You can see its tail. It's got like 7 buttons or so, but really cool we got this guy. I'm honestly shocked, but it's cool to see. Well, I probably won't really show any more of these guys. We just stopped for a DOR gopher snake. And this is a Pacific chorus frog right here. You can maybe hear some in the background in this nearby water structure. But we passed a couple toads, but got an amphibian for the night right here. Doing some cruising, as we will be all night, in a slightly different area. We're kind of just going to hit a lot of different spots. And we just cruised up on this little longnose snake right here, which is nice because we just saw a dead one that had just been very freshly hit. So it's always nice when you get to see the same snake to kind of make up for the last DOR. But little guy here, some nice orange on him. I haven't cruised this area a ton, but it's cool to, you know, see a new snake species in this area. Obviously I already knew that they're here, but just to see them, kind of check it off, pretty cool. Well, we've been passing up most of the toads, as I said earlier, but looks like we stopped for this big dude, and it's a big old wood house kind of covered in sand. He's just running away, so we'll let him continue to do that, but just good to add a species to the night. Okay, next find is this desert glossy snake. This is Aiden's lifer right here, and I haven't seen too many in this area either. Actually, kind of just my second in this general area. Definitely smaller than the other one that I got that was in the last video, I believe. And really glad we could get a hold of this guy. There was kind of a couple other cars, and we saw him as it was flipping back off the road, and we were hiking around for a minute or two checking the shoulder. Kind of thought it was a lost cause, and then thankfully we were able to find this guy, which is super clutch. I think we had actually just lost another one of these guys off the road too. They can be pretty quick, especially when it's as warm as it is right here. They can disappear off the road sometimes, them and long-nosed snakes. But glad we got this guy, Aiden's lifer. He's just chilling, and thankfully he could not quite sneak away from us. Okay, next snake. We're in a completely new area that we have never herped before. It's kind of fun just checking out tons of different roads, not having to look at the same road over and over, and it's kind of nice. I think we might do it more often, but we just got this big long nose right here with a ton of black on it, just high black with some low white and slight orange. For a split second in the road with all those bands, thought it was maybe a king, and then we could kind of see that speckling in the black and could tell it was a long nose from the car. But really really cool. We kind of flipped around not too long ago, so it's good that this guy's now crossing the road. But we're running into some super hot patches, which, you know, means stuff isn't forced to move early on in the night, but they can be moving all night. But it's about midnight right now. Stoked about this long nose, and definitely cool. It's definitely different than the other one, but we'll get it off the road. Not that there's a single other car out here, but here's a cool non-herp find. You can see these guys quite a bit, but this is one of the bigger ones I've seen before. Kind of fit in my hand right there. He's just not gonna stand, but there's my hand for size reference. Just cool seeing these guys. Where we are right now, it is still really hot, but we're gonna do the long loop back to home now, which will be another several hours. Well, it's been a couple hours since the last live find. Probably exactly, actually. It's 2 in the morning now. Slowly jaunting our way back home, but just cruised up on this gopher snake with some higher elevation where kind of thought it would be too cool, but not a thing for a gopher snake. So moving really chilly temps sometimes, but new species for the night. It's a little juvenile here. We'll get him off the road. All right, 2:30 in the morning, and this gopher was on the move. Kind of surprised that we're still seeing a few things, but like I said, these guys are some of the later moving snakes and cooler temp handlers, but cool to get another one. I think we're at 6 snakes for the night. We'll get them off. Okay, so yesterday I was doing all that night cruising with Aiden, and so next day I'm with Gents. We're gonna do a little bit of afternoon herping and then some night cruising as well, but Gents just caught this western skink right here, which is pretty cool. Okay, right after that western skink, Gents also flipped this guy right here, and nice blue tail, which is normal for these guys, but cool to get another one. And then I found this garter snake at pretty much like the exact same timing. So this guy was actually kind of just swimming around, and for a second while he's still covered in water, it looked really beautiful. But there's the focus. But cool you get one of these guys. I've honestly only seen like 1 or 2 this season so far. Just haven't been in their habitat hardly at ever, but glad that we're starting the afternoon with a couple herps, and we'll see how the night continues.
I actually can't smell them anymore.
Okay, me and Gents were just doing this little hike area, and we didn't see this guy, but we could hear something moving in the grass. Kind of chased the sound around the side of a rock, and then it kind of popped out, and we were able to get a hand on it. But another garter snake right here. This guy musks quite a bit. Definitely a stinky one, but that's what you get with garters. Okay, we're further down the trail. I think we're heading back to the car though, but got this other garter snake right here. Looks a little bit lighter, kind of skinny as well, but I feel like all of them that we've seen so far look relatively similar. Definitely different looking heads though, which is always cool to see. Okay, well, snake wise, tonight has been really slow so far, and a couple sad DORs, unfortunately, but we did at least get this banded gecko here. So we're on the board for cruising herps tonight. Saw some, amphibians as well, but didn't take any videos. But hopefully the snakes pop up. Where we are right now, we'll be moving all night, so it's not like there's a quick window, but hopefully if we're out here long enough, we can see 1 or 2 before we go camping tonight. Well, it took a surprisingly long time, but we were on the board snake wise. Just a juvenile gopher snake right here, but we will definitely take it considering how slow it's been. Kind of changed to the point where our goal is just to get 1 live snake tonight, and at least that happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if we could pull out a couple more. All right, next snake is this long nose. So these guys have been one of the most common snakes down here this year, it seems. They've been just on the move a ton, and rattlesnakes have not been moving much, especially, the Mojaves that are supposed to be in at least some of the area that's down here. But these guys have definitely been moving a lot, so good to see them. Never going to complain about seeing a long-nosed snake. Just that nice orange and black, always a good treat. Okay, pretty quickly down the road, we just got this night snake here. So this and the long nose were both lifer for my buddy Gents. And this one is a pretty big night snake, probably the biggest one I've seen this year so far. But definitely a quick succession for 2 snakes. Glad we shifted areas. And this guy almost got off. He was kind of booking it across the road, but thankfully we got hands on him, and really stoked about getting this guy, and now a little bit more of a successful night at least. Okay, well, snakes are definitely moving, because it was probably 10 minutes later, and we just got this desert glossy snake, which is also Gents' first. So this is one of the smaller ones I've seen, and I haven't seen one in this area before either, so I'm really stoked about this. But a pretty pale coloration on this guy. Interesting neck as well for glossies, but we can kind of get a quick look at the stomach. You can kind of see just how like pale and shiny reflective it is, which is really cool, but easy to see why they get their name. Good species diversity now that it's picked up here. Okay guys, you can kind of see that faint brown back there is the trail. We're hiking on our way back and we ran into this fresh snake track, but there's surrounding really big bushes on the side. Thought we'd give it a go. Hiked all the way to the other side of this big bush here, and in the grass, it's gonna be hard to see on camera right now, you can see a decent sized Great Basin rattlesnake just sitting in the grass. So I'll show a better look at it in a second, but just kind of crazy that this tracking actually worked. Well guys, he might not want to hold still at all, which is fine, but here's a little better look at him just so we can see that patterning. This is only like the second large one that I've seen this year, surprisingly. I've seen a ton of little juvenile babies which tend to all kind of look the same, but I like their patterning a lot more as they get closer to this this bigger size with that really dark patterning on the back. But this guy's just about 2 feet long, not wanting to hold still, so we'll just let him kind of crawl back into the bushes again. But here's a little bit better look at him. So here's the track that we saw. Couldn't really tell exactly which way it was going, so we checked both ways, but it was all the way on the other side of this bush and happened to be moving down in there. So we got pretty lucky, but nice find.